Good evening. Welcome back to live shopping here at Highlight Crafts. We've got another hour of scan and cut. We're going to do some paper piercing in this hour because we've managed to get a bit more stock. Although you have been buying it in between shows. I'm there prepping all my demos and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got loads. And then went, oh no, we haven't. So you're going to have to be quick. And this is dispatched from the 30th of December. Or there, is that right, Katie?
Yeah, that's roughly about right, yeah.
Okay, because we've got to wait for brother to send it to us and then we've got to ship it out to you. So bear with us, but it's worth getting because it's absolutely fantastic. SDX only, but it's brilliant. Right, we've got Katie on cameras tonight. We've also got Amber in the driving seat.
Hello.
Oh, Bonnie's with us from Michigan. We've had New Zealand, Michigan, France and Holland today. And Australia. There we go. We're global, international. It's a bit scary, isn't it? Right, let me tell you a little bit about live shopping and then we will get into what we've got for you this evening and then we'll go to demo and see what we can come up with, right? It's going to be good. Right, so live shopping. So you can find us on YouTube. Now, when I'm at home, if I'm watching, I like to put it on the TV because I like a bigger screen. You know what I'm like, and then I've got my iPad and I'm shopping, and then I've got my phone in case anybody rings me. I know, and I don't do technology. I do it when I can go like that, play, that's easy. So you can watch us on YouTube. You can also watch us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. Now, if you want to shop with us on either Facebook or Instagram, each product that I show you in the show itself will have a code. And all you need to do to purchase that is type the word shop and then that code into the comments underneath the video, and that will automatically put that product into a basket for you. Then we'll send you a direct message. You'll find a link inside that. Click that. That will take you to highlightcrafts.com, where I need you to log into your account so that you get your club member benefits before you check out your baskets. And also before you check out your baskets, check out the outlet because it was restocked yesterday. So there's loads of goodies in there at silly, silly prices. So make sure that you're having a look in there before you check out those baskets. Now, if you would prefer to shop with us directly on highlightcrafts.com, you can also do that. Just pop on over to the website, click play, and all the products in that show will appear down the right-hand side of your screen. You then just select the ones that you want to purchase. They will go into a little red shopping bag at the top of your screen, and when you're ready to log in and check out, click on that basket and that will take you through that process. Now, we are also in the middle of Merry Giftmas. Something like that. I find it really difficult to say that. Oh no, that's why I find it difficult. The Great Giftmas. So what it means basically is if you spend £30 when you get to checkout, so after your discounts, and there has to be at least one physical product in your basket, so something that we will be posting out anyway. So £30, one physical product, we're going to send you a present. Up to Boxing Day, you can do that as many times as you want, and every time you get to that £30 after your discounts and a physical product in, we'll send you another present, which is great. Now then, as a crafter, I would get my basket to £35 because then not only am I going to get my present, I'm also going to get free postage. So think about that bit because I think that's brilliant. Imagine that, opening a box and something in that you had no idea you were going to get. And it says on here, tailored to your order. The free gift will be tailored to your order. There you go. Look at that. I know we're getting better, aren't we here? We're better and better all the time. Jan says, hi Mel, I'm new to Scan and Cut. Welcome, Jan. Oh, you're going to have a lovely time. Jan, I would go onto Highlight Crafts YouTube channel. There are 13 free classes for Scan and Cut. Start on that. Spend some time over Christmas if you've got a bit of time to spare watching that. Don't watch all 13 in one go because that'll drive you crazy. Watch the first one, do a bit and then practice it. Then do the next bit, practice it. And I teach the way that I learn. So I learn the next little bit I need to know to achieve the next bit that I want to achieve. And then when you come back in New Year, oh, you'll be singing and dancing. It'll be great. Had a busy day, but now I'm in my happy place watching Mel. We'll have to watch the 2 earlier shows on catch up. Yeah, don't miss them, Carol. Will you be doing the Thursday show? Yes, I will. Yes, I know. Thursday at 6 o'clock. It's me and Stephanie. Not quite sure what it is yet. Are we talking book nooks or what we're doing?
No, you might have card templates.
Oh, we might have new card templates. Good job I started prepping that this afternoon, isn't it? We might have those on there. That'd be really good. So welcome, Jan. Yeah, honestly. Oh, I'm so excited for you. I remember it'll be 10 years in January since we launched it, and I remember it arriving at my door. So I was sat in my craft room one Saturday afternoon, and one of the ladies I used to teach on classes in Preston messaged me, and she said, I've seen the future, and it's called the Brother ScanNCut. And I'm like, what's the Brother ScanNCut? Googled it, couldn't find anything. So I actually rang the senior buyer, Pam. She was on holiday, but she picked up her phone, which was very unusual. And I said, Pam, have you heard about this ScanNCut? She said, funnily enough, there's one on my desk. I was going to send it out to you on Monday, see if you want to demonstrate it. First question, does it need a computer? I am so grateful she said no, because hand on heart, I wouldn't have been doing this for the last 10 years if she'd said yes, because I wouldn't have done it. And it arrived, and I set it up, and I put the settings on what I would have had on my Cricut, so the original Cricut with the cartridges. Speed 5, pressure 5, blade 5, cut an 8-inch circle out the middle of my mat. I went, okay, this is different. This is very different. And I spoke to the guys at Brother, and they went, yeah, we don't rely on the back pressure to force the blade through the product. We rely on the quality of our blades. And that was the beginning of the journey. So I'm very excited for you, Jan, because you've got loads to learn. It's really exciting. Oh, Jan says, I found them. They're great. Brilliant. I hope you get my Christmas card before you break up. Oh, Carol, that's lovely. Yeah, I hope so too. Right. Let's get stuck in. So let's start with this over here, because this is brand new today. This is lovely. Now, we started to work with this earlier on, and in the 12 o'clock show I showed you how to put the digi-stamps over and then print it off and cut them out. We can recap that a little bit as well if you like in this hour, but I do want to get some piercing done, because when it's just lovely. So you're going to get the Ripples of Spring, exactly the same way that you normally would, with your detailed designs, reflections, reverse reflections, decoupage layers, 3 different sizes, etc. Then you're also going to get Robin's Garden. How lovely is that? If you watch myself and Stephanie at 9 o'clock this morning, she just used some alcohol markers, but your water-based markers on the show would work as well, and turn the frost and the snow into grass and moss, which was super cool. And then you're also going to get the Minecraft Studio. Now, for years and years and years, I watched Diane do Minecraft Studio, never really ventured into it. I have to say, I'm so glad I found it now, because it's brilliant with your ScanNCut. It's brilliant by itself, but with the ScanNCut, honestly, it's superb. Now, it's free to download right now from highlightcrafts.com. You do need a Windows-based PC. Doesn't work with a Mac, but honestly, it'll be the best thing you ever download. It's fabulous. So you're getting all of your artwork. You will get your correct reflections for your ScanNCut. You're also going to get your digital stamps, which is what we can now put over the artwork and make it look like you've stamped it and coloured it, which is really cool. Then you've also got your textures in the back here as well. The knots in the wood in this, I think, are fabulous. And of course, you can change the colours in Minecraft Studio as well. We just colour pick. So your reasons you've got your purples is because of your crocus that are in there. Then you're also going to get your scenes in here. So you've got a winter and a spring in there, which is great. And then last but by no means least, you've also got your overlays in there as well. So Shop Songs, $8.99 is going to get you that one. Now, I'm going to jump to this one. We did have this on last week, but we didn't do much with it. And I'm doing Parchment or vellum tonight with the piercing kit, although it does work on card as well. I tried it. I tried it on a 216 GSM card, piercing it at that 1mm distance. Oh, did it twice, popped out. Brilliant. I know, very exciting. But I thought these would be great. So these are the vases that we've done with the resin decals. But imagine actually putting your decals on here and making your vase out of your parchment or your card or whatever you want to do. Or you could emboss, if you've got the embossing starter kit, you could emboss your sentiment in the middle of the vase and then put your flowers at the top. So shop vase, it's $4.99. It'll be worth having this because when we come to do more next year with flowers and all sorts of different things, and I'm about to show you how to make a flower out of basic shapes, you're going to want those to go in. Shop vase, $4.99. Pop that into your basket. Now, we have 4 people sat with these in their basket, so I'm going to talk about them. If you want them and they're in your basket, please check your basket out. But there's 4 sat in baskets. Right, okay, well, we'll talk about them then, because they've been sat in baskets since this morning, haven't they? Yeah. Right, so these are from the brand of Royal and Langnickel. It's an artist brand. You will have seen Stephanie and David bringing you quite a few products from them, and they are absolutely fabulous. Now you're going to get 48 fine liners. They've got a 0.4mm nib on them, and they come in beautiful colourways. So you've got quite strong colours in here, but then it goes into these really lovely vintage hues in here, which is very unusual to find in fine liners. They are triangular in shape, so they're very ergonomic to hold. But when you take the lid off, if you wrap a little bit of masking tape around there a few times, they will go into your universal pen holder, and they're brilliant in that. Also, blows my mind the price, because you're getting 48 of them for $19.99, which is superb value for money. So if you want them, there's 4 remaining. They are in people's baskets. If you want them, please check your basket out. If you don't, please take them out so that somebody else can get them. Sarah Jane Kennedy says, would the piercing work for stitch holes in cardstock? Do you know what? I think it would. Let me just check something for you. Come with me, Katie. Let me just check, see how wide you can go with the distance of the holes, because it doesn't matter the shape that you're using. Oh, hang on. I just need to change my pattern into full back. There we go. Let's see. Object edit. Let's put the piercing on. And let's see how far apart you can go. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can set the distance between the holes. So yes, it would. Absolutely. I wonder how far up it goes. I'm going to have to set this all the way back down again in a minute. But you know what? 10mm. All right, so you can get down to 1 centimetre in between, which I think is brilliant. So yes, absolutely. Now I'll show you the back of the vellum when it's done. And the back of the card, because you need to see what that looks like, and then you can make your decision. So this is the back of the vellum when it's done. So it's slightly raised, and then this, bear with, is the back of the card. Now that's with 1mm in between. That would be too close, but because you can set the distance between the dots, the reason I'm showing you the back is if you look at the front, it's flat. Is that the front? No, that's the back. That's the front. This is the back. So you'll see that it pushes through. But yeah, I don't see why you couldn't. And I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't do that. Good, isn't it? I love it. But it is for SDX only. And I know, I was cross too. But it's because the rubber mat that they need for the needle to go into is thick. And you can't lift the back rollers on the CM machine, so it had to be just for SDX. Now we've got some mats back in the house. Whoop, whoop. Right, standard mat for your SDX is currently available for you. I've talked to you about that's $24.75. Then you'll get your club discount and your points back. This might be the physical item that you have in your basket to get yourself up to £30 after your discounts. If you'd like a low tack mat, we can do that for you. These are SDX, shop low, $24.75. And if you want a scanning mat for your CM machine, we also have that one in stock. Shop mat, £23.30. Now then, I've got the glitter card all organised now. So this is lovely, non-shed. Always makes me smile, and I say this every Tuesday. Shop Shed is the code for your non-shed glitter card. Brilliant, right? Love it. Look at these colours. These are absolute, don't worry, yours won't come like that. I think they've just got a bit damaged. You've got all of these different beautiful colours in here as well. They're stunning. Then you've got your blues in there. So your darker green, your darker blue, and then your light blue. They're absolutely beautiful colours. Shop Shed, $9.99, and literally nothing at all. Look at that. Clean as a whistle. Right, now then, let's talk about heat transfer vinyl, shall we? Now they've cut it down to a different size. I don't understand. When we did it during the week, it was a different size. Now we're down to 10 by 10. Honestly, Katie, I don't know, but they were, because we got a ruler out and measured it live on the show. Now they're back to 10 by 10. I don't know. I'm not asking questions anymore. Right, now then, heat transfer vinyl. This is brilliant. So if you need to use either a heat press or a dry iron, steam iron's no good, even if it's on a dry setting, because it's got holes in the bottom, and you need to work on a flat surface. So we've cut down the big sheets, so they are now 10 by 10. Now, the best way to use this, put it onto your mat that way around, so that the matte part is on the matte colour is facing up, because on the front of here where it's super shiny, that's your transfer film. Now I worked out on my SDX, and I can't work it out exactly for you because I don't know how old your blade is, but if you put your half cut on and use your regular blade, not your vinyl blade, you don't need your vinyl blade for this, your regular blade with the half cut pressure on 2, it will kiss cut it. So it'll cut the top layer, you can weed it out, turn it over, position it onto your fabric like that, and then press it. And you need your heat on between 140 and 160 for 10 to 15 seconds. But you're going to get 15 colours for $19.99 before your discount. So you're going to get your blue, your green in there, the lovely chocolate brown, that's lush. Then you're also going to get, it reminds me of dairy milk colour, that. Maybe it's a little bit deeper than that, but it's a lovely, lovely purple. You've got your turquoise in there. You've got black. You've got white. You've got a lovely spring green. That's a beautiful pop of colour. You've then also got, bear with, there we go, your dusky rose. You've got a very soft teal in there, a lovely aubergine, and then a gentle lavender in there as well. So if you want to have a play around with heat transfer vinyl, this is a great starter kit, isn't it? We bought them in big sheets, but you seem to prefer it that size, so we cut it down. Shop Heat, $19.99. Now I had to ask Sam for a new posh card. She's getting it back. I'm not going to use any of it because all the stuff out there got used in festival, and I opened the box this morning and went, where's all the card gone? Right, ready? Now this is a brilliant, brilliant deal. So Shop Posh, this is a gorgeous quality cardstock. It's like a very soft ivory. If I put white next to it, I'll use that piece of card, you can see there is a difference between the white and the cream. Actually, you can't see it, I need to hold it up. There you go. You see, there's a slight difference. It's a beautiful quality. Now, when Terry brought this in, the guy who owns the mill, he was like, it's $2.20. I was like, that's never $2.20 ever. But it will be good for your piercing as well. Because if it is that lightweight, I think it's $2.50, and I've pierced it and it works. But this is great for your boxes, for your brand new shape cards that are coming maybe Thursday evening. How about that? Very excited about those. Now then, in here for $19.99 before your discount, I can't believe I say this every time, you're going to get 30 A3 sheets, 30 12 by 12, 30 A5 and 60 A4. This is wonderful quality. And earlier on today, I taught you how to make a stencil, and we did some inking through the stencil. Oh, loves ink. Takes it beautifully. Really nice and smooth. So if you are a stamper, in fact, let me see if I can find that. I don't know if I've still got it. Where would that be? Maybe here. Maybe. Yes, it is. Look at that, inked. It's really soft. That's actually better than the one I did on our white yesterday. Look how gentle that is. It looks like it's been airbrushed. It's beautiful. And then I just started to use the fine liners to go inside of the stencil, although the ScanNCut would do that for you. Right, so if you want that, it's Shop Posh. It's $19.99. We don't have a massive amount left. We won't be getting another one in before Christmas. I think it's safe to say, Katie, isn't it? So if you want this, grab it while we've got it, because it is beautiful cardstock. And I'm a proper card snob. Anyone that knows me, I'm like, I'm not using that. 20% of it's already allocated. Told you, got to be quick. Hubby's bought me the piercing kit for Christmas. Come on. Yes, Jan's hubby. Brilliant. Trying to order a Christmas gift on my PC is like waiting for paint to dry. Is that on our site? I hope it's not on our site. I hope it's on somebody else's site. Yeah. Thank goodness for that. I was like, what's going on there? That can't be a thing. Can't have that. Right, let's talk about these pens. Now, when we bought in vellum, or parchment, it is shop vellum, but it is parchment, and we will try and get that back in stock as soon as we can for you. It's back in stock? Yeah. Oh, you say it like I should know the answer to that, Katie. Nobody tells me anything.
Oh, it's there.
It's there. Where is it?
Because you knew about all the other stuff, because we're going through stuff.
No. Oh, TV's gone off now. It's all falling apart. Mention vellum. It's back in stock. Right. Oh God, where's she? I've got some here, Amber. Come back. Oh, yeah. Heck, not only have I got to be psychic. This, right, let me talk to you about this. I didn't know it was back in stock, did I? Listen, I need an SDX 12 by 24. Matte, I guess. Have we got any in?
We might have just sold out of the last SDX ones. It's on my list to order. I'm going through with people.
Let us know which one. Standard low tack. We'll get it on Katie's list for you. Shop vinyl. We haven't got a vinyl on the show, have we? No. Right. Sally Ann. I'm not sure what you're shopping for. Oh, heat transfer. What's it called?
Shop Heat.
Shop Heat. Sally Ann. There you go. Shop Heat. There you go. I know. Right, this isn't a vellum, this is a parchment. I know the code shop vellum, but parchment's quite long, right? Now we tested a lot of these because when you're embossing with your embossing starter kit, I didn't want to have a piece of vellum that was thin with a ball tool that's applied onto pressure going into a spongy mat, because if it goes through, it's going to drag and tear that mat underneath, and you don't want that. And I also wanted you to be able to use water-based mediums on the back of it. So we ordered a thick, heavy one. It's 280 GSM, and you get six sheets. These pens on the back of here are fabulous. Now, normally there was a brand many years ago called Tombow. I'm sure they probably still exist, but they were really expensive. They were good, but they were really expensive. These are as good, but nowhere near as expensive. Even at full price, it's $16.99 for 12 pens, which is superb, especially for this quality. So you've got a wonderful brush nib on one end, and then on the other end, you've got a fabulous bullet nib. Now these will go with this nib facing down into your universal pen holder, all right? So you can draw and colour with these pens. Now, like I said, normally $16.99 a set. That's a good price, actually, for pens of that quality. Not today, though. You're going to get 2 sets. Now, they are the same. So one for you, one for a friend, or one for you and one for when it runs out. So you got 2, right? Shop Pastel. You're paying £5 less for 2 sets than you would normally pay for one. $11.99, and you still get your discount. That's mad, right? And both of those will be winging their way to you. Right, come with me. Let's go and finish this card off. So earlier on, I showed you, shall I do this bit or shall I do that bit? Actually, we'll do the piercing first because I need to get that started. Then we can finish that off while that's doing that. Otherwise, we'll stood here like this. And that's not good, is it? And I can't use the machine. Right, so let's press home. Right, we're going to make a flower out of basic shapes. Katie, you might want to get a bit more comfy than that, darling, because we're going to be here for a few minutes. That's going to be really, your arm will start doing that. Right, so we're going to go into patterns and we're going to go into basic shapes. Now, I believe one of the free classes on YouTube is making flowers from basic shapes, so you don't need to remember this, and don't forget you can always watch these back on YouTube. I'm going to choose that one. I know, looks like a little alien, doesn't it? I'm going to set that on the mat, and then I'm going to decide what size I want it to be. So I want it to be about 1 inch in height, so we'll take that down to, actually let's do it at 30 mil. But I only want it to be 8 millimeters wide. Now you do have a little bit of working out to do when you're making flowers like this, because you have to work out how wide it can be to be able to, oh no, I'll just do this bit first, otherwise it's too many words. Let's duplicate it, so we've got 2, and then let's rotate that so it's upside down. And then I'm just going to drag that, lost my stylus again, Katie. Oh, come on now. There we go. Just going to put that underneath there, just roughly. And then I'm going to multiple select everything on the mat and align it so that it's aligned centrally vertically. So I know they're directly underneath each other. Now at this point, I don't want to move it up any further. I'm fine with that. So I'm going to group it. Now, the bit that you need to work out. So if you've got a circle, 10% of the vellum's already allocated. If you've got a circle and half a circle is 180 degrees, right? Because a full circle is 360, half of it's 180. So when you're working with 2 shapes like that, you need to work out how many degrees you need to rotate it clockwise so that there is a gap between the petals. For example, look at this. So if I ask it to do 2 now, I'm going to multiple select everything on the mat, press OK, go back to my directional arrow buttons and my alignment function and align it centrally vertically, centrally horizontally. Press OK and tap the screen to release the shapes. If you don't tap the screen, they'll move as 2. So now you need to work out, so I worked out with 8 mil wide, which is perfect. If I rotate this 20 degrees, for example, it overlaps. And you can't have it overlapping, otherwise it'll eat into itself, if you like, so it'll take a chunk out of that. So the next available degrees has to be 30 because it needs to divide into 180. So I know that that works. So I've got 2 here, I've got 1 selected and 1 that's deselected. So if I ask it to do another 5 now, or 5 in total with the 1 that's selected, and then I'm going to multiple select everything on the mat, press OK, directional arrows, alignment, centrally vertically, centrally horizontally, press OK and tap the screen to release the shapes. Now I know that when I rotate that by 30 degrees, there will be enough space in between those petals for me to be able to get it out of the parchment and use it as a shape. All right, so you've got all of that. You see, that's perfect. Brilliant. Right, so we've done our 30. Now use these select arrows to get to your next vertical set of petals. Because if you try and do it with your stylus, you might miss it, then you'll end up on another shape, then you'll get all confused. For the sake of a couple of OKs, it's worth it. So we're then going to rotate this 160. And when you're rotating clockwise, it will show you, counting up from 0. When you rotate anti-clockwise, it subtracts it from 360. So next set, this one will rotate at 90 degrees. And then again, go in with your select arrows, object edit, rotate, we want 120. And then the last one, we can then rotate, so I've got to get to that set and then rotate it anti-clockwise 30 degrees, and you'll see it subtracts it from 360. Right, so right now, if you wanted to cut that flower into a piece of vellum or card or whatever it is, it will cut in. So you'll have a circle of all those petals cut in, which can be quite nice, because if you do something like alcohol ink behind it, or cadence metallics behind it, or gilding behind it, and you put that over the top, it looks really pretty. But what we want to do is be able to take it out. So we have to add a centre. Now, depending on where the centre, you add the centre, or depending on how big the centre is, and where it overlaps that shape, will depend on the flower that you get. So first things first, we're going to group all the petals together. So we're going to multiple select everything, press OK, go back to editing the object and group it together. So I've now got that shape. Now I'm going to add, we're going to go back into our basic shapes, back into here. We're going to choose a circle, and I'm just going to set that on the mat. And then I'm going to make it smaller, much smaller. Let's start with 1 inch and see where we get to. So 25 mil. Let's see what we think about that. And you do have to just play around with it, and that's all right, because that's how you're learning, right? We multiple select everything on the mat, press OK, go to our directional arrow buttons and our alignment function, and align it centrally vertically, centrally horizontally. Now, if I just click off that now and zoom in, you can see whereabouts that's going to weld to those. Oh, I've got one wrong there. Where's that one gone? Hang on, bear with. Need to change that. Can't have that. Let me ungroup that. Which one did I do wrong then? Don't know. But that's not right. Let me find that set. Bear with. Hold the line caller. Might have been that one, I think. Let's rotate that another 10 degrees anti-clockwise. Yeah, there we go. That's weird. Don't know how that happened. Anyway, we can put the circle in the middle now. So if we multiple select everything on the mat, press OK, we can still do this because they're not going to move individual. The petals aren't going to move. And now if I weld it, go back to Object, Edit and Weld, you'll be able to see before you commit to that weld. And that's perfect, because if we go any lower down, the little stem there almost of the petal becomes too fine, and then you risk breaking the parchment, which we don't want. So I'm going to say OK to that because I'm happy with that, and we're going to get this piercing. So let's make it a little bit bigger, like that, and then we'll get this working on here. So we need our, let's have a look, bear with. Now I've got, oh, don't lose all that lot, Melanie, because you've just organised that. It's all right, just ignore me. I talk to myself all the time. Mad as a box of frogs, I know, but I quite like it. Right, let's get this vellum on here. Now, earlier on, I just went, got a wet wipe, just a box standard, not a baby wipe, please, because baby wipes are kind of fluffy. A wet wipe, you know, a disinfectant one, something like that. And I just wiped over my mat. I didn't dry it. It literally dried by itself, right? Just because my mat was losing a little bit of its tackiness, and I'd never washed it, so I didn't know how it was going to behave. Oh, it's brilliant. Look at it now. It's come back super tacky. It's brilliant. Really clever. So I'm just going to scan this in. Just going to give those a little press down. Now, these are the flowers that I've already done. If you put a square around that, that could be on the front of a card with some beautiful bit of artwork behind it, or it could be colours that you've made, or an inky background, or a gilding background, or whatever you want it to be. So all of this doesn't go to waste, all right? But I'm going to scan this in because I want to use this rather than wasting any more. I'm so glad we got this back in. I'm well excited about that. Right, we're going to load. Going to keep pressing those down because I've got a feeling they might just catch, but we might get away with it. Let's scan. So we're going to scan from here. I'm going to press start because I'd rather know that it's in exactly the right place. I might end up cutting those off, or I might not. Right, your piercing tool, I like to use the 0.8. Now this is brilliant. So inside your kit, you're going to get this mat with this black rubber on. please don't ever try and take it off. It's not meant to be taken off. This is your mat. That's why they put it on a mat for you, so you don't need to buy a mat to put that on, because it's bonded on, right? So don't try and pull it off. You also get your holder that your tool goes into, and you get a 0.4 and a 0.8 mil needle. And I have to say, these are super sharp. Now, they had to change the way that the ScanNCut moved, if you like, because if it was to do a full stop now, it goes down, it draws the tiniest circle and then comes out. It doesn't just do that. So when they were doing the piercing tool, they had to change it so it moved like a sewing machine, like that, right? So just be aware that it is going to move slightly differently. Those needles are super fine, all right? So what I found is if you do 1 mil distance, so to put the piercing on, well, first of all, on your home screen in the bottom right hand corner, there's a little spanner. Click on that and turn the piercing on, all right? Don't need to register it in Canvas to be able to do that. Just switch it on. It's when you put the tool in here that it knows that you're actually then using it. 15% of the vellum now is allocated. 45% of the paper piercing kit, and we added more stock on since lunchtime as well for that. So if we go to Object Edit, there's this little tool here. You see it looks like a needle with dots. That's your piercing tool. Now I'm going to switch it on, and I want the dots 1 millimeter apart. Okay, so we're going to press OK, and then we're going to keep going until we get to please select and pierce. Processing that information is going to take 5 minutes, which is perfect. So we're going to let that start. Now it is a little bit noisier than when you hear it cutting, all right? So don't panic about that. That's normal. It's quite, isn't it? Like a bit going to a rave, like that. Right, let's make up this card that we were doing earlier. So, oh, please tell me I haven't lost all my flowers. No, I haven't. I'm all right. Right. Let me talk to you about this card. So earlier on, I showed you how to create your own stencil from a circle and a heart, and then we put it into an oval shape. So if you watch back at 12 o'clock, you will see exactly how we did this. But I do want to take you into my craft studio just to show you the next bit again, because we've done it once, but I just want to show you this because this is really cool. So I'm just going to bring my craft studio up onto here, and we'll just get rid of that. Now, a little tip from me, when you're working in Minecraft Studio, when it first comes up, there's a grid on and a ruler, and I know Stephanie likes to get rid of the grid and the ruler, and I get that, because when you're looking at it on air, it's a bit distracting, and I take it off. But one thing I do keep on is the margin, because the margin shows me whereabouts it's going to print on that paper. So without it, you can go a little bit off and then you end up cutting bits off. So I always work with the margin on. That's just my personal preference. Now, if I just grab the USB out of here and pop it into here, I just want to show you how you put the digi-stamps on, because it's brilliant, this. So earlier on today, we did this card, and the reflections without the digi-stamp work beautifully like that, because it's all natural and it all links in. But what I wanted to do for this card that we're going to finish now is do something that looked like it had been stamped. So I went for a stylized, more stylized card. So the stencil in the background with the ink, the pen gone round it. And now we're going to show you how to just add these digi-stamps in, because it's brilliant. So if I go into the USB drive and I go to SVG song, no, MCS song, wrong one, bear with, got a lot going on. MCS song here, we will have your scene building. So let's, for example, just bring on one of these. Now, if you were cutting these as a sheet of reflections and you've got 6 or 8 on a sheet, if you only own an A4 printer, which probably most of us do, you can't go bigger, right? So you can't take one element and make it bigger, because you can't print bigger. So this is a really cool way of doing it. Now, when you're doing this with your digi-stamps, I want you to bring in the reflection and the digi-stamp at the same time, all right? So don't resize that first, because then you've got to resize the digi-stamp. The easiest way to do it is to bring this in, and I'll zoom in for you so that you can see it more clearly. So we'll zoom in like that, and you want to work zoomed in with this. We'll click on the Digistamp, and you can change the colour of that line as well if you want to, and you're going to drop it into place. Now zoom right in, because I thought yesterday I was bang on, and actually when it printed out it wasn't. So go right in, and as long as you can't see any colour around the outside edge of that, you know you've got it in the right place. Okay, so now that completely changes. Let me just go back to scene building and bring another one in for you and show you the difference that that makes. So if I just bring that in, look at the difference now. That literally looks like you've stamped it and coloured it. It's brilliant. Now if you wanted to change that Digistamp to white so it looked like embossing, if you take your brightness right over to the left instead of the right, you can turn it so it looks like it's been white embossed. Look at that. Brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant, but we're not going to do that. We're going to leave it as it is. Now, because you've used the Digistamp, and because the Digistamp has a complete outline, all you're going to do then is make up your whole sheet, print it off, scan to direct cut, and ask it to cut it out for you, and it will find it. It's superb. So once you've got to that stage, you'll have this now. Oh, now it's finished. It's done one round. I'm going to ask it to do another round, because I find that if you, this is 1 mil apart, and it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Look at that. The accuracy, excuse the pun, is pinpoint accurate. It's superb. Right, I'm going to ask it to do it again because it weakens it a little bit more. Now you'll also see, can you see how the vellum's not pressed down as much on the mat now? Because every time it goes in, it pushes it down, but then it pulls up. And you might find, let me just see if I can show you on here. Can you see how I've got a little bit of rubber on there, a little bit of black on that needle? So that's normal, don't panic. That's why I wanted to show you. Can you see in there, there's a little bit of the black rubber off the mat. Just take that off, all right, because that will just stop the needle going further down. And I find that if you do it again, just send it round one more time, it's easier to get it out and you don't risk tearing it. So I'm going to drop that back in. Nothing's moved, so I'm just going to ask it to do it again. So please select down to the bottom, pierce, and then just press start and it'll go again. Right, so we've got our card shape now, and I've now got all my little bits and bobs. So I just wanted to show you this bit because I thought it's a completely different style of card than the one that we made this morning. I used the fine liners, the Roland Langnickel ones, and I used one of the fonts from inside the machine's memory, and I just wrote hello and then spring, and I asked it to draw fill it. So it drew it and then it coloured it in for me. I know, superb, isn't it? So we've got that, and then I've got all my little bits and bobs here. So let's stick this together. So first things first, I'm going to sort out my composition. And I want the purple at the front, I want the yellow behind, and you're not going to see the snow or ice underneath, so I don't need to deal with that. And then I'm going to put that down there, and that just tucked behind like that. So I'm happy with that layout now. So let's glue that down. It feels really weird me saying this is my last Tuesday in 2025. I know. Do you know what? I've loved it, and I just want to say a massive heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you, because we're building this wonderful, wonderful ScanNCut community here, and every Tuesday at 8, 12 and 6 we bring you ScanNCut shows, and then you can always watch them back again on YouTube, and it's been absolutely fabulous. And you know what? The best thing's been going to the shows. So when we went to the NEC and going to Bath, to the show at Bath, and I didn't have, well, I think I had probably 2% of the people that came to see me and talk about ScanNCut. About 2% of them had got one, and it was still in the box. So it's starting to change. I can't tell you how excited I am about that, because I've always had it. Oh, I've got one of those, it's still in the box. And then I have to do the look, and I don't like doing the look. Don't make me do the look. So it was really lovely to meet everybody, and they were all like, oh yeah, I've got one. I'm like, so I'll watch it every Tuesday. I'm like, yes. So thank you. We will be doing a show on Thursday night. And hopefully it will be the new card shapes, and then I'm going home on Friday for Christmas, and I will see you in 2026. Right, I've just got my little sentiment now, so I'm just going to put hello there and spring, whoop, there, like that. So I've just got hello spring, like that, and that will be my finished card. Now, same die cut or same reflections, same artwork. Look how different it looks. It's completely different, doesn't it? So this looks like a stamper's made it, and this looks like ScanNCut Users made it, or a die cutter. It's brilliant. So two completely different styles, just by adding that over the top of there. I think that's brilliant, because it literally, in fact, David said to me, have you coloured those in? I was like, nope, it's just all done digitally. It's great, isn't it? Love that. Right, let's wait for this to happen. It won't be long now, 2 minutes. Right, Amber, what do I need to recap in the meantime, please? We can go back to the vellum. Yes, absolutely. So you're going to get 6 sheets of this. This, honestly, listen, it's even heavier than the one they use for Pergamano. And the reason I wanted that was, one, because I didn't want it to damage the mat, which we've talked about, but secondly, I wanted you to be able to add water-based mediums on, because normally if you put anything water-based near parchment, it buckles like that. This doesn't. It really is very good quality. And vellum can be really expensive. So to get this quality at that price is fabulous. But don't miss out on that. It's back in stock. We're already 15% of it gone, and it only went live an hour ago, Katie? Maybe even that. Not use my ScanNCut a lot, says Alison Mortimer, but going to get my head around it. I did use it to make my husband's Christmas card, as he likes Iron Maiden, so use the trick with the acetate to make decoupage layers, hence to say he loved it, and says my best yet. Boom, back of the net, Alison. Pauline says, I'll see you on Thursday afternoon. Coming to see us, are Pauline? And I'm very excited. Just realised Christmas is next week. Says Lizzie. Lizzie, me and you, I think we're probably sisters from another mister. I love that. Cooking dinner now and chilling here. What am I like? Oh, you're well. We're all good here. Honestly, it's mad, isn't it? Christmas is next week. Doesn't feel like Christmas. Does it feel like Christmas to you? It doesn't at all, does it? I went to Tesco's to get something for lunch, and the carol singers were there in the foyer. And that was like the first thing. I'm like, flipping heck. Marion says, hello, Mel. I'm watching from Malta. Look at us, international again. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and everyone at Highlight Crafts. Thank you, and the same to you too. We've got loads of people watching us. Thank you. It's always lovely to have your company. Right, let's talk about this, shall we? And then I'll show you what I've been playing with this afternoon. So, what we're going to do now is carefully, right, and I mean carefully, don't just pull at it, tease it off like this, all right? And then make sure that you keep your plastic cover for that, because look, it's gone really tacky again. I tell you what, cleaning it with those, don't use a baby wipe because they're fibrous, but like a Dettol wipe, something like that, that's come back good as new. I'm really happy with that. That's fabulous. Right, now then, there's a little trick I want to share with you. So if you take a pair of tweezers, something like that, and just push down gently, right? You have to be gentle with this, because vellum or parchment can be quite brittle when it wants to be. So I'm using, you see the shape of my tweezers to push down. So I've got the thicker bit in between there, like that, and we're just going to press down very gently, all right? And I'm supporting the parchment underneath with my other hand like this. All right, so we're pushing down gently. Don't be in a rush. I know, you've got to learn patience. I've had to learn it, so now it's your turn. I am really impatient. I'm not as impatient as Stephanie, though, I have to say. Then we're going to pull this up. Oh, I get puppy cuddles again tonight. I'm well excited. Got 2 new puppies, Elsie and Stanley. Oh, they're lovely. Right, now then, we also need to get this out of here. So just go in and push away very gently and it will peel away for you, all right? Or you can go in. You really do have to be patient and just press that bit down there because you don't want to tear it. And this is why I took the circle a little bit wider than I normally would, because if that gets too thin, chances are you're going to break it, and we don't want that after we've done all that. Well, we haven't done the work. ScanNCut's done the work. 30% of the vellum's gone. And half of the piercing kits. Don't forget to check out your baskets. Santa needs to know where to take it to. Right, now you've got that is absolutely perfect. So if you cut a square around that, same square around that, same square around that. So set it up on your machine, because when you put a square around it, as soon as you put the dots in, it knows it can't cut it. So you don't even need to set it as a cutting only line, because it will automatically know when you press cut, it will only do the solid shape, which is brilliant. And then you end up with that looks like it's got a picot edge on. Now, I'm not saying it's as perfect as if you did it by hand, but I'll tell you what, it's a damn sight quicker. Right, I want to show you this, because this is it on card, which is quite funky. But somewhere in here, oh, please tell me I've lost my vase. Don't lose my vase. Here we are. I got a vase. I did the vase the same. Now, I would put this onto a sheet of vellum. You just pass me a sheet of vellum, Katie, please, because I think this would be lovely. So, there's your vase. You can add colour, of course you can. Don't do that. And then I took a big flower, just one of them. So I made the size like a bit smaller than we just made. Then I did 2 more, a little bit smaller. And look, you can just start to lift these up. This is super cute, guys. Honestly, you're going to love this. So we're going to pop that one on there. Then I've got another one exactly the same size that I'm going to put in between that. So just lifting this up and position that one in the middle there. Then I've got 2 smaller ones. Had a lovely time doing this. Just kept running back in between. I was cutting out new card shapes and all sorts this afternoon. So we've got that one there. Then another one in the middle of that, or as many or few as you want. I'm just not very much of a less is more girl. And then somewhere on here, I also have a little circle. Oh, where have you gone? I knew I'd lose something every time. Anyway, there's a little circle that I did that went in the middle. How pretty is that? And then you could actually emboss your best wishes with love, whatever it is. I'm annoyed I've lost that circle now, but it's gone. But how pretty is that in your vase? It's lovely, isn't it? And if you wanted to add colour, absolutely you can. But I just thought that was really pretty and really different, and all done with your piercing tool. We've only got 2 minutes left. Now, I do have another ScanNCut show on Thursday night at 6 o'clock. It's not like this. It'll have other stuff on it. So it might be new card shapes, all that kind of stuff. I've cut one of each card shape so I can show you the mechanism and how it puts together rather than focusing on the pretty stuff. But for now, that is our final Tuesday session for 2025. I know, where's this year gone, right? If next year goes as fast, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't got enough hours in a day. Thank you for your company all those Tuesdays and helping us build this fabulous ScanNCut community. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please join us if you can. It'll be myself and Stephanie on Thursday night. And then on Friday, I'll be here doing the shows, and then I'm going home. I'll be driving home for Christmas. I'll have that blasting out on the stereo as I go home. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Don't forget to check your baskets out, especially if you've got those piercing starter kits in, because we must have sold 5 or 6 in between the 2 shows today, so people are shopping for it all the time. And if you can't join me on Thursday for any more shows, very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in 2026. For now, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.